everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and today, right now, I'm going to be taking another moment to celebrate a 20th anniversary. I wish I really had like a graphic. I'd be all like, but anyway, welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave. I'm talking about 20th anniversary. As part of the year, I'm going to be talking about different movies that are celebrating its 20th anniversary. And 2004 was a really lit year. It's 2024 now. So many good movies came out. One of those is one of the greatest movies, one of the greatest sequels of all time. It broke so many records. This was the highest grossing film of that year, 2004. The fifth highest grossing film overall of that at the time of its release, right? It is DreamWorks Animation's highest grossing film to date, and the highest grossing film released not just by DreamWorks Animation, by DreamWorks Pictures, period. You know, they make so many different movies. This is the highest grossing of their catalog, right? Hold up. And it held the title of being the highest grossing animated film of all time worldwide until a little movie, a little ditty bop called Toy Story 3 surpassed it in 2010. So almost a decade. It took almost a decade for this movie to be surpassed. And it was only surpassed by Toy Story 3, the third Toy Story. This film received 2 Academy Award nominations for Best Original Feature, for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song. And its associated soundtrack charted in the top 10 on the U.S. Billboard 200. This movie, let me tell you, if y'all don't know, now you know what I'm talking about. This is Shrek 2. Shrek 2, the most beloved Shrek movie. I think it's even more loved better than the first movie. Before I get any farther into the greatness that is Shrek 2 and my review and my thoughts now, I'm going to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch, where we do the podcast /BrickWall every Friday, and not Friday, every Thursday. And I do game streams practically every Tuesday and Wednesday. I just do God of War, and on Wednesday nights I do some more God of War. Then I do some Tekken, Nobody Saves the World. I mean, come on, so check it out. Come through, come hang, show some love, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. So, getting back into Shrek 2. So, like I already mentioned, this movie came out in 2004. This matter of fact, it recently celebrated its 20th anniversary, I think last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, because I remember this movie always coming out in May, but apparently it was released in, it was May 19th is the US release for the 20th anniversary. So the 20th anniversary is coming up on May 19th, but there was it was a release in like April somewhere. So like it kind of also has that 20th anniversary as well. But anyway, so this movie here, Shrek 2, I remember vividly when this movie was coming out. I remember vividly when this movie was announced. I remember vividly watching the teaser trailer for the very first time. I remember it all. This was a phenomenon of a movie. Everybody was excited for this movie, Shrek 2. Oh, after the success, after the great film that was Shrek, just Shrek, that came out in 2001, right? This movie had a lot on its shoulders, but at the same time, the anticipation was this is going to be so good. That's what everyone was walking into the movie thinking. And did this movie disappoint? Now I'm going to get into that. So, for those of you who don't know, for the uninitiated, for the people who've never seen Shrek 2, this movie follows after Shrek 1, obviously, where Shrek and Princess Fiona are now married. They are actually on their honeymoon in the beginning of this movie, and when they return, they find out that they are being summoned to to Far, Far Away, which is Fiona's hometown, to meet the royal family, the king and the queen of Far, Far Away. So King Harold and Queen Lilith, that's what it was. So this leads to a very very interesting dilemma because, of course, now Fiona is a full ogre because True Love's first kiss turned her into the form that matched her true love. So she's not a human; she's an ogre. Her parents don't know that; they just know the whispers of her being married. And even outside of that, you had in the very beginning of the movie Prince Charming. Prince Charming, right? You know the classic character Prince Charming riding to save Princess Fiona from the tower, only to find out that he was too late. He finds the big bad wolf in the bed, and of course, he's like, "Oh, who did she get married to?" So this movie pretty much just handles not just Shrek trying to find trying to please his in-laws, right? Get to know them and just have a good impression on them, but he's now being hunted by a bounty hunter, and the fairy godmother's up to some evil schemes and shenanigans, and Shrek must save the day, save his wife, and save all the far, far away. I think maybe just his personal life. But so now that I've given y'all practically the entire rundown of the film, I gotta say, I'm not really gonna talk. I mean, I'm gonna talk spoilers. I'm gonna talk spoilers in this, of course, because this movie's 20 years old. Shrek 2 has been seen by everybody. Everybody loves Shrek 2. And that is not an exaggeration. I remember this movie coming out, and there was so much around the marketing. There was so many, there was just so much hype. So many people were excited to see Shrek return. And just this prospect of the plot being like, oh, now he's gonna meet Fiona's parents. And it just looked really cool. And you got Puss in Boots in there. You just got more of the zany, wacky humor. Well, not zany, wacky humor, but you got some more of that zany, edgy humor that you had in the first Shrek movie. And I think that they didn't try to repeat the first Shrek. They didn't try to do some outlandish things. They did a thing with the story where it made sense for it to go in that direction. And most importantly, they made the jokes, the dialogue, the character moments, they made all of that flow so well together that I was just like, wow, it was a fun watch. I just remember it always being a fun watch anytime I put it on. I saw this in the theaters and I thought it was amazing. I don't really think there's much else I could say that somebody like a Shay Frillis over here on YouTube or other YouTube analysis for Shrek haven't said already. It's just, you have a really great villain in the fairy godmother because she was so menacing, but you could also see like, okay, she's just doing her job, but she is nefarious because she wants her son, Prince Charming, to be the king of far, far away. There's a nice twist with the father-in-law, King Harold, when he was the frog that needed to kiss the whole time. Like, he kissed the frog, they turned into a prince. He was the frog prince the whole time. I love that reveal. And then, of course, there's the untouchable moment in that movie, the I Need a Hero rendition sung by the fairy godmother. As so many people love that. So many people talk about it. So many people just say that is the best usage of the song Hero and Holding Out for a Hero by anybody, anywhere. And that's just amazing to me. This movie's dope. Like, this movie's dope. I did rewatch this, and really every time I watch Shrek 2, I laugh at pretty much the same parts. And I laugh a little harder every time I see it because it's just this movie. Like, this movie is just, I muted myself by accident. No, I don't know. Like, what else can I really say about Shrek 2 that hasn't already been said that you guys don't already know? So really my angle here is just saying, I guess specifically with Shrek 2, does it hold up today? Like, does it hold up in today's times? Do I look at this movie back from 2004 when I saw it open the weekend in the movie theaters, and I look at it now? What do I feel, right? So as a kid, again, this is one of those movies I would say it was the funniest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. This was such a great movie. 10 out of 10 stars, 100 out of 5, 50 out of 42. This was the greatest movie I saw. I love this movie. I laughed so hard. There were so many good jokes. Looking at it today, I've already said it. I have to agree. There are so many good jokes in this movie. This movie does still hit on the same way in the character moments. You understand, you feel for these characters who want to just be accepted for who they are, accepted for who they are on the inside, not what they look like on the outside. These characters who have each other's best interests in mind and will go through any lengths to see each other succeed. Even bringing in Puss in Boots to the fold was just an iconic move because Antonio Banderas' performance as Puss in Boots was just beg for mercy from Puss and Boots. And he's such a fan favorite character that he got 2 spin-off movies and this whole entire spin-off series. Like, you know, Donkey, of course, played brilliantly and masterfully by Eddie Murphy, continued in this movie to be just such a highlight. And really, so many people, now here's the dark side of this movie, though. So many people say this is the best Shrek movie, so much so that they don't acknowledge the movie that came directly after this. So it's just Shrek 1, Shrek 2, and then Shrek Forever After. People do not count Shrek the Third. They say Shrek 2 is the peak of the Shrek franchise. I've heard that said many a times. It's a great movie. I love Mike Myers' performance in this as Shrek. It was just like I said, the jokes ran when they first met Puss in Boots, you know, the whole Mission Impossible thing, then the whole thing with Pinocchio. That was the whole Mission Impossible thing when they were trying to save Pinocchio. No, they were trying to save Shrek and Donkey and Puss in Boots from out of the jail. And then they went down there and they had the Mission Impossible theme playing, but they couldn't reach the keys. So the Pinocchio is like, oh, there's like, quick, say something that's not true. Like what? You're wearing ladies' underwear. I'm not wearing ladies' underwear. I'm not. It's a dog. It's not a dog. Like it's just that was funny. It's Shrek. I came here really to gush 20 years of this movie being iconic, being the highest grossing movie of that year. Do y'all know what else came out that year? Blip. You know, I like, come on. Like, come on. Like, you had so many movies come out this year, and this was the one that stayed on top. This movie's immortalized. But I don't know, like, back then, like I said, I would have given this movie 5 out of 5 stars. And I think today I still do give this movie 5 out of 5 stars. It is still just as funny. It is still just as interesting. It is still as engaging. And then looking back and seeing some of the jokes that were told back in 2004, where they might have not been as funny, they're still the same level as funny. So it's like, a joke doesn't get worse. It only either stays the same or gets funnier because you understand the joke differently. This is, again, a top tier movie in my book. When I think of Shrek, I often think of Shrek 2 myself. So yeah, no, that's it. That's all I had to say. This was their 15 minutes of me gushing over how great Shrek 2 is. Again, what does this movie have on the Rotten of the Tomatoes? This movie sits at a 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb. I already told y'all I give this movie 5 out of 5 stars. This is one of the 5-star immortalized reviews that I do, or more immortalized films that I've talked about. Like, there are many films not too many films that I give 5 out of 5 stars, but the ones that I do are movies that stand up with Shrek 2. Like, I've always thought Shrek 2 was in that category. Now I can officially put Shrek 2 in my immortal wall, my wall of immortality of movies. Shrek 2 is on that wall. And one day I will give you all a visual of what those movies were. And maybe we can debate it sometime. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in and hearing me talk about Shrek 2 for this long. I really appreciate you guys, and I would appreciate you even more if you hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want to talk about next, let me know how you feel about Shrek 2 being 20 years old. Do you remember seeing it in the theater? What's your greatest memory of Shrek 2? What's your favorite joke? Let me know all those things down in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like. Once again, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X now, and Twitch, where we do game streamings and live BrickWall podcasts all the time. Shout out to the Was It Good Though podcast and Chainsaw Reacts. And until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy. I needed a Shrek line to say, Donkey! That wasn't funny. All right, I ruined it. Peace.